everyone, Tina here. I hope your day is going wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we are going to create a couple cards. We are going to use some brand new items over at Simon Says Stamp. These items are part of a brand new release called Good Luck Charm. And to celebrate the brand new release, my projects are actually part of a blog hop featuring so many more fun, inspirational projects. So I encourage you guys to head on over. There's a giveaway to go with this blog hop celebrating the Good Luck Charm release. So links for that are down below in the description area. For today's project, we're going to use, I want to share these actually. These are brand new to the shop. These are really cute. These are little triangle dishes. And they're great for sequins. They're plastic, which is nice, and they stack together. But they're great for scooping embossing powders out. They are handy little die cuts, and they're pretty inexpensive. And they come in a pack of 4. So I thought I would share that with you. If you see me using these are part of the brand new release. For today's project, we're going to be using a 4-piece stencil set that I think is gorgeous. And I just don't know the name of it, but I will list it down below in the description area. And then we're also going to be using a die called Balloon Background. I had an idea with these. I wanted to create some clear kind of balloons with a little bit of sparkle, and so we'll see how this turns out. Now let's jump in and get started with our balloon card first, because we are going to do a little bit of die cutting. Okay, I have some silver cardstock. This is actually from Lawn Fawn. And 2 of my favorite cardstocks are Spellbinders, the silver mirror cardstock, and then also the Lawn Fawn. The Lawn Fawn's cardstock is a little bit more toned down, so that's what I'm going to use for my project today. We're going to take our balloon background here, and you can see what it's going to do is just create a whole bunch of balloon outlines. So we're going to die cut this out with our silver cardstock, and then I'm also going to die cut it out with Fun Foam. I know I'm hoping it's not going to lose its shape, but I'm going to attempt it. So let's do a little bit of die cutting. Okay, once I have my silver balloon background die cut and then my Fun Foam, which die cut out nicely, I'm going to go ahead and use my glue and layer these together. This way it'll give it a little bit of time to adhere to the Fun Foam. And I'm just going to use a little bits of glue. We'll layer this right on top. The nice thing about glue is you have a little bit of time to move it around. I have quite a bit of glue on my silver mirror cardstock. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a baby wipe and clean off my surface first, and then lightly go over my silver mirror cardstock. I don't think it's very pretty when you have glue. And it cleans up really nicely. So my balloon background is done, and we have a little bit of dimension, which is really nice. So I'm going to set this aside. Now I'm going to take my balloon background die once more, and we're going to do, let me zoom in a little bit. Now I wanted some color for my background, so I'm going to be using a paper pad. This is the spring collection. I love the colors in here. All but the polka dot. I wanted some yellow, and this pack doesn't have yellow. So what I'm going to do is cut out some small squares, and then on the balloon background you can see the full balloons. There's several in here. I want to fill those in with some pattern papers. So to do that, I'm just going to line them up over those full balloons, and then we have one more here. I'm going to run these through my die cut machine just so I have some solid balloons. Now I have all my solid balloons die cut out. They kind of look, actually, you know what guys, if you want some Easter eggs, these would make cute little Easter eggs too. Just Just saying, there's always nice for multi-purposing your dies, right? Now I'm going to flip over my background and then we're going to add some more glue behind it. And then I'm going to adhere this to my card base. And I'm just going to go with a few dots here and there. I'm going to be using a standard A2 size top folding card base, and then we're going to flip over our balloon background, and then this is going to go directly on our card base. And you can see it fits beautifully. And then we have that extra dimension and that shine from the silver cardstock. Now I'm going to take my balloons here and then I'm going to flip them around, and since I have my glue out, we're going to add a little bit of glue behind our balloons, and then we're just going to inlay these. Actually, maybe it's easier to add the balloons this way. Add a yellow. Love the way this looks so far. Now it's going to be the fun part. This is what I love to do. I'm going to take my glossy accents, and what I'm going to do is we're going to leave the background white on the rest of the balloons. So I'm going to fill in the other balloons with my glossy accents. This is probably going to take a long time to dry, but I think the results are so worth it. And it's super easy to do. Need a little more over here. Okay. Oh no, I need a little more here. Okay, now that we have our glossy accents added to our little balloons, we're going to go ahead and take some glitter. This is chunky sparkle glitter from Studio Katia. And I'm going to take my little spoon here, and we're going to add some sparkle to the balloon where we added the glossy accents. Love doing this. When it dries, it just looks so neat. Kind of making a mess. Okay, now we'll tap off the excess. I'm going to bring this over to my garbage can. And we're going to just sit and let this dry. I love the way this turns out. You're going to be careful not to overfill because it will overflow, but we're going to set this aside and let this dry, and we'll finish this card in just a minute. Now in the meantime, what we're going to do is work on our next card. We're going to use our stencils. Again, I remember the name of this, but I'll list it down below in the description area. We're going to take some white cardstock, and they do have Simon's name down here on the bottom, so you want to make sure that these are right side up when you do your stenciling. Now I have a 6x6 panel. I think it's going to be easier to stencil on this as far as positioning where to put it. I'm going to go ahead and use my pixie spray and add that behind my layer here. And then this one, I'm going to go ahead and add pixie spray behind all of these. Now, first layer, I'm going to find Simon's name and put this right down here on the corner. Line it up corner to corner. And then we're going to add our first color. First color, we're going to go with Carved Pumpkin. And I'm just going to use my blending tool here. And we'll add some color. I'm anxious to see what this is going to look like. Okay, now I'm just going to use my baby wipe and wipe off the excess. Sometimes it's easier to wipe off your stencils while it's on the cardstock. And then I'm going to go ahead and remove my first layer carefully. I'll set this aside, and then we'll grab our next layer. I'm going to find Simon's name, put that in bottom corner here. Line it up edge to edge. My next color I want to use green. How about, yeah, green. This is Twisted Citron. I didn't mention, but the orange was carved pumpkin. At least I don't think I did. We're going to add Twisted Citron. Okay, Twisted Citron is done. We will wipe off our stencil here. And we'll remove it. That's a pretty pattern on its own. We're going to take our next pattern, line that up in the corner. I'm going to use Squeezed Lemonade next. And we're going to go over our third layer. Squeezed Lemonade is all good. Let's wipe off our stencil. And that's another pretty pattern. I love that you can mix and match these. And then we'll take our last stencil, making sure it's right side up. I'm going to add that. And I'm going to go over this with tumbled glass. All of the inks that I'm using are just Distress Oxide inks. Okay, tumbled glass is good. And we get to see the beautiful results. Oh my goodness. That is so pretty. Oh gosh, I just think that's gorgeous. Fabulous. Okay, I am going to go ahead and use my paper trimmer. We're going to trim this down. This is so pretty. I'm trying to get it evenly spaced, so I'm doing a little bit at a time. So there is our background panel. We're going to go ahead and take this and put this on our card base. I'm going to use my tape runner. Lovely. And then for my sentiment, we are going to use, and I'm going to die cut that out with some white cardstock here. This is from MFT. Love this Celebrate. And I'm going to die cut this out. And I also die cut it out with some fun foam that I have adhesive backed fun foam. I'm just going to remove the release paper, and then I'm going to add my Celebrate. Line it up. Since there's some delicate areas in here, sometimes it's easier to bring it to the fun foam. And then, once this is lined up, I'm going to use my finger daubers and do a little bit of shading on this. And I want to know, I think I have enough ink on here to add a little color. So we're going to use orange, which is probably carved pumpkin. And then I'm going to go in with my yellow, which is more than likely, I would say, Squeezed Lemonade. And then we'll go ahead and bring in some blue. I'm going to put the blue at the top, kind of trail down a little bit, and then I think there's enough room to add green. So let's add some green, and this is Twisted Citron, I'm pretty sure. And I think that's going to work out lovely. Now that my Celebrate's done, what we're going to do next is take some gems. These are from the Jewel Mix from More Buttons Galore. This is where your dish comes in handy, and basically what I'm doing is just taking the largest gem and I'm adding it to all the orange squares on my panel. And then you can see I also created some balloons. This is the same silver cardstock that we used for our very first card. I just used the same fun foam left over and then die cut out some more colored cardstock to create some balloons. I thought we'd add some balloons to this background. I'm not going to add any gems here because that's where I'm going to add the balloons. So let's just funnel these back in there. Handy little dish. And then what we'll do is take our balloons. We'll take our blue one, add some glue behind it, and then we'll stack our balloons here. And then I'll take the orange. I'm going to have to add a foam square behind here because they're going to overlap. And then we can add a little glue on this side. We'll lower it a bit. So far I think that looks cute. And then we're going to add our Celebrate that I already removed the release paper from. This is going to go over the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and take some white cardstock. And then I'm going to go ahead and add my Celebrate to the white cardstock. This is going to just give me a little bit more visibility since our background is almost the same color. We're going to adhere that to white cardstock, and then I'm going to use my scissors. Okay, I went ahead and fussy cut around my Celebrate, and I'm loving the way this turned out. Then we're going to flip over our Celebrate. I'm going to add some foam adhesive behind here. I love the way this turned out, and I think with the white background it's not going to compete with that pretty stenciling we did. Let's go ahead and add this towards the bottom. And that is one card, and we're going to go back to our other card. Let's go grab our second one that's drying. I think this is going to take a little bit of time to dry, but in the meantime we can work on our sentiment. I'm going to be using the Blessings die from Simon. This one I think everybody needs birthday blessings. I'm going to die cut this out with some white cardstock. I'm going to do it a couple times. And then once we have this die cut out, it leaves a thin frame, and I'm going to color this in using my finger daubers. Basically we're going to do a little bit of shading. And what color looks good? I think an orange would look really nice. So let's shade our frame orange. And I'm just using ink that's on my blending tool, my finger daubers. Excuse me. Once we have color added, I'm going to flip it around, and then we're going to add this to some white cardstock. I'm going to go corner to corner so I don't have to do much trimming. Okay, now we have our blessings. We're going to use the same colors that are in our balloon. So let's do a purple. Now I'm going to go ahead and flip this around. And we're going to punch out the blessings in this one. I'm going to flip it over and add some adhesive behind here. We're going to inlay this on and I have a little ink there. I'm going to use my sand eraser to take that off. And then we can add some glue. Some little dots will work just fine. And then to make it easy, I'm just going to line this up on the top. And then I'm going to use my tweezers and just push down. And we'll push all these letters in place. Our S didn't want to go in there. And I'm going to take out the B centers. And then all we have to do is trim around it. Once we have it trimmed out, I'm going to flip it around. We're going to add some foam adhesive behind our blessings. Then I'm going to go ahead and add this. Of course, you want to make sure that your glossy accents is dry. But that I'm going to leave it as that and leave this as this. And then those are my projects today. I hope you get a chance to head on over to, this is the day 2 blog hop, Simon, to celebrate the release. The release actually went live yesterday, but to celebrate, they're having a 2-day long blog hop. So if you missed day 1, go on my blog and I'll list day 1 over there as well, so you have an extra amount of inspiration. Thanks for joining me. We will see you soon, guys. Bye-bye.